Whether you are a seasoned projector running a business ready to revamp your existing business model, or you are a budding coach, creator, or change maker who wants to make sure that your business is reflecting your unique cosmic DNA, then definitely keep watching, because in this video I'll unlock one of the secret pieces to building a thriving and, more importantly, most aligned business model for you. Hello beautiful friend, welcome to this channel. I am Barbara and my passion is to empower and guide coaches, female entrepreneurs, leaders and changemakers to run business, stepping into their zone of genius and be massively rewarded for their gifts. Business based on your unique design that feels damn good and doesn't follow any other rules than yours. So when I found out about this particular aspect of human design and applied it in my own business model, I was blown away. And that's why I want to share it with you, especially if you are running a coaching business or any other business within the self-help industry. Little disclaimer before we dive fully in. This is just one of the pieces that contribute to your best and most aligned business model. So please don't hang just on this alone, because there is a bigger picture into this. Now, without further ado, let me introduce you to the circuitry. In human design, circuitry refers to the movement of the energy among the centers in your body graph through the channels. These interconnected energy flows have specific functions in receiving, transforming, and expressing energy. Understanding your circuitry can bring clarity on a business model and offerings that align the most with your unique design. We often get easily distracted by other appealing options and other successful individuals in our niche, and especially if our current approach is not bringing results yet. If you are a coach, mentor, leader, creator, or any other light worker in online space, you might have noticed that there is this very popular business model that is hugely recommended by big names. However, there is no guarantee that it's energetically aligned and suited for everyone. Or at least it might feel really hard and it might not work on a long-term, consistent and sustainable basis. You can push yourself to do anything, sure thing, but as you know, I'm all about doing things your own unique way and still be wildly prosperous and successful. So this is not an approach that I would support. So let's take a deeper look at circuitry and how that can help you to create the best and, more importantly, most aligned business model for you. There are 4 different types of circuitry: collective, tribal, individual, and integration channel. Let's start with collective circuitry. Most people have a combination of circuitry, but it's very common that you might find yourself having a dominance of just one. Either it's collective or individual or tribal. Another thing that I want to say is that each of these different circuits has its sub-circuits, like subgroups, but we are not going to cover that in this video. Let's start with collective circuitry. Each circuitry group has its keyword. The keyword for collective circuitry is sharing. Collective circuitry is all about sharing information, sharing resources, sharing with the whole collective. Things that benefit all of the humanity. You can think of it as governments, hospitals, organizations, even Facebook or YouTube. Collective is driven to share, particularly with relevance to the collective. People with dominance of the circuitry might often talk about collective, how they want to influence collective, they might feel the drive to impact people on a bigger scale. If you have dominance of collective circuitry, it can feel even overwhelming because it's a slow process to change or impact people collectively, but usually people with dominance of the circuitry have patience for that. People with collective circuitry are very visual. They think and speak in images. So each circuitry has its special way of communicating. For collective circuitry people, it's visual. Collective circuitry relates to humanity. If you have collective circuitry in your design, or if you have a dominance of collective circuitry in your design, you most likely have a very natural focus on humanity, human issues, things related to the collective. You might see and think and operate based on the collective. Now, let's take a look on some visual pictures that might really highlight the underlying theme of the collective circuitry. Yes, sharing your story. We will get into that in a moment now when we come into the application to business. So how you can apply this into your business model. So I would highly recommend you to experiment with introducing some group programs, maybe even memberships, offerings where you can serve more people, like where you can serve the collective. Storytelling is a big part of that, right? So it has been portrayed in here, but it's really something that might even attract more people to you if you have this particular circuitry in your design. So telling your story, that is something that's going to draw people to you, okay? If you don't feel like experimenting with group programs or memberships, you can think how else you can be serving collective. And then that can be through YouTube channel, or maybe you would like to have a Facebook group. Usually for people with collective circuitry, it's very natural to have this as a form of communication, so you can really impact people on a larger scale. Of course, it's not a rule, and of course, I am not saying that you shouldn't have one-on-one packages or one-on-one offerings if that's something that you want. I am just suggesting you to experiment with this and see how you feel and what kind of impact it's going to have on your business and on your life. Next, we have tribal circuitry. So the main keyword for this circuitry is support. Providing support to your family, to your close friends, to your clients, people you include in your little bubble. Remember here, you cannot serve, support, and help everyone. You only have a certain resource of time, energy, even money. There needs to be a natural exclusion and inclusion of this. If you have dominance of tribal circuitry in your design, it's important to know who is part of your tribe. This is all about, resources for survival, and food and finances and a shelter. It's not about resources that benefit most people, like a collective. It's resources for you and your family, your close circle, your tribe. So here we have a visual representation. Again, think of the tribe as a living body. Tribal circuitry is about keeping the body alive. You are the most alive if you are part of the tribe. If you have that tribe near you and that you can, support one another, which is the main keyword in here. Also, family, bonding, food, resources. Another great picture that is portraying the underlying theme of tribal circuitry. Bargains, another keyword when it comes to tribal circuitry, which we're not going to get into that much depth right now. When it comes to application to business, I would highly recommend you to experiment with bundles and with some deals. This is connecting to the bargains keyword that is part of the tribal circuitry. Another thing I would like you to experiment with, or I would like to invite you to experiment with, is to introduce maybe group programs, but most likely more intimate, smaller groups, the groups that feel like a family, like your tribe. Again, I am not saying that you shouldn't be having one-on-one offerings or services. If you love those, absolutely keep them, but I am just inviting you to experiment and to see how you feel energetically and what kind of impact that's going to have on your business, your clients, and your life. Let's take a look at the individual circuitry. The keyword here is empowerment. The individual circuitry is all about personal experience and initiating processes of transformation and the evolution of humanity. If you have a lot of individual circuitry in your design, understand that you are here to be empowered in yourself so that you can stand as an individual in the world being yourself. And when you do that and you are true to yourself, then you have something that can be empowering for others. You offer empowerment as a gift to others, but you cannot give it without being first empowered in yourself. If you have a lot of individual circuitry in your design, you are a unique individual that expresses a very different perspective than what the collective or tribe would be offering. You might feel like an outsider. A lot of people with individual circuitry, they feel like they don't belong. They literally feel like outsiders. As an individual, as a person with individual circuitry, you are protected from belonging to the collective or the tribe because you need to be able to bring something different than the rest in order to help the collective and the tribe to evolve. Okay? For that, you need to learn how to express your perspective effectively so that the tribe and collective will be able to take it on and hear it. So the more you do that, the more you are effective in your communication, the better. Because, let's be honest, people will be naturally afraid of individuals or hesitant, especially tribal people. Maybe they would feel threatened or something because, as an individual circuitry person, you are bringing something unfamiliar. You are bringing something unusual to them, something revolutionary. You are bringing a mutation, and people are often hesitant of what they don't know, and often they fear to change. And you as individual circuitry are here to bring that change. But in order to do that, you need to be able to express your perspective effectively, which comes through effective communication. Here we have a little quote and the visual representation that, again, I really think, relates to the underlying theme of individual circuitry very, very well. Individuals need the freedom to be different. This cannot be more true for people with individual circuitry. When it comes to application to business, again, when it comes to circuitry, understanding this, will bring you more clarity when it comes to creating your business model, your offerings, and your services. Specifically for you as a person with individual circuitry or the dominance of individual circuitry, you are the catalyst for people who invite you in to work with them. You will notice really big changes in your client's life after they are working with you. I would highly recommend you to experiment with one-on-one packages with very intimate settings, in your offers, and literally anything where you can empower the other, because that's something that's genius in you as someone with the dominance of individual circuitry. So again, reflect on this. I am not saying that you cannot be having group programs or memberships as an individual circuitry person. No, that's not the point. However, again, I just invite you to consider this and to experiment with inviting more of the one-on-one offerings and see how it feels and see what kind of impact it does to your clients and what kind of impact it makes or it does just in general in your business and in your life. Let's talk about the last piece, and that's the integration channel. So integration channel can be included under the umbrella of individual circuitry, but it has a bit different flavor. That's why we're going to talk about it separately. In case you have this integration channel or in case you have some channels within this circuit group. So the keyword for integration channel is self-empowerment. You may remember that for individual circuitry, the keyword was empowerment. For integration channel, it's self-empowerment. If you have integration channel in your design, you are more self-focused. Often focused on your survival, and definitely you need to be self-empowered before you will be in service of the world. You are also here to exemplify self-love. That you show, what it is to look like to be an example of self-love. The channels that belong within the integration channel are very first to involve channels. So they are very instinctual and they are survival channels. Other than that, there's pretty much
a lot of similarities to the individual circuitry, and also when it comes to its application to business. Again, like with dominance, or if you have any channels within integration channel circuit, you are that catalyst for people, and you might notice really big changes in your clients, transformation, and in your clients' life after they are working with you. Again, I would highly recommend you or invite you to see if you can bring more one-on-one offerings or services if you don't have them yet. If you can create more like intimate settings where you can empower the other, because again, that's something that you will stand out, particularly with this circuitry in your design. So just reflect on that, play with it, and experiment.
Remember that this has been just a very brief introduction to the circuitry, and there is so much more to say. Let me know in the comments if you would be interested in this particular topic so that I can make more videos about that. And if you are ready to step into your power as a projector and build a business that reflects who you truly are, consider joining us in AWAKEN in Biz, a live group program for projector souls in business, where you get full-on support and guidance on rebuilding or creating business your own projector way. Together, we will uncover not only the best and most aligned business model for you, but also other aspects that will set you on the path of extraordinary success and fulfillment. Link to the waitlist is in the description. And if you enjoyed this video and you would like to learn more about human design, I'd be very grateful if you would give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. You can also share with other projectors who might benefit from this. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I'll see you in the next video.